guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brianne Samantha, and in today's video I created this really cute summery glowy look for you guys today. But before we hop into the video, please make sure that you hit the red subscribe button down below and hit that post notification bell as well so you know when I post new videos. But without further ado, let's get right into this video. Alright guys, so I don't have a lot of time. The girls are actually coming back in the next hour, so I just decided to come on here and quickly film this video. So if it kind of seems like I'm rushing, I am. This hair is actually day 3 hair of a wash and go, and I actually added some color. I should have already had the tutorial for that video up already, but right now I'm looking hella ashy, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add some face moisturizer, and this one is from it's from Fresh, and this is just the Rose Deep Hydration Face Cream. I've really been loving this. I've already done my skincare off camera, but girl, even my hands is ashy. I love this stuff. It is super hydrating, and I'm not just saying that, and definitely this video is not sponsored, but one of my girlfriends named Amber, she told me to try this, and it's been the best thing for my eczema on my face. I'm also just gonna add some lip balm to my lips because they just feel super duper dry. Alright, so let's get this video started because, as I said, I only have an hour to bang this out. And I'm just brushing these up as per usual, nothing special. I've really been loving doing makeup videos for you guys now. Well, I've always loved doing makeup videos, but I'm loving the fact that I am trying to push them out for you guys more often. And if you guys hear some kids in the background, I apologize. They are not my kids, they are my neighbors, but they are very loud. I have gone back to using my OG MAC pencil in the color Stud, just because the Huda Beauty one that I was using finished, and as much as I liked how thin it was, it broke on me way too much. And I mean, I feel like these last me so much longer, so I'm all about the bang for your buck. So I don't know, like, as I said, I really did like how it made my brows look. It had like a nice feathery vibe going on, but I'm just not about buying them all the time. But yeah, you guys, how was your week? How's everything going? I'd love to hear how your week is going. It's a holiday over here for us. If you guys don't know, I'm in Canada, so it is a long weekend for us over here. Honestly, didn't do too much. I did some batch filming yesterday, as well as I went on a dinner date, which was really nice. It's just been really nice to be outside, like, considering that we've been on lockdown. It just felt so weird for me to be in a restaurant sitting down and eating. It feels so foreign, and we really did take that for granted. So it just felt really great to be back eating in a restaurant and just enjoying the simple life, which is not even a simple life anymore. Like, that's like luxury to sit in a restaurant. Yeah, so for concealer, I'm gonna use my Fenty Pro Filt'r concealer in the color 430, and as always, I'm just gonna use this Morphe flat brush. This is a Morphe 410 brush, and you guys know the drill. I'm just gonna put some on the back of my hand like so, and I'm just gonna use this to carve out underneath my brows. Oh wait, I didn't set my brows, so let's go ahead and do that. I just like to do this step because it just keeps my brows in place, especially when I am going to carve them out. And I'm just using the 24-hour brow setter by Benefit. This one's not necessarily my favorite, but for now it is doing the job. But yeah, I just brushed them up. Alright, so that's gonna dry down, but let's just go ahead and carve out these brows. I've been trying not to put as much product at the front of my brow because the way I've been blending just hasn't been hitting right, and I end up with like a halo situation around here, and I'm not liking that. So I'm just trying my best to avoid doing that now. Alright, so we got that on. Now let's go ahead and blend this out. I'm just using this fluffy Real Techniques brush. And I'm just gonna start these patting motions. I also try to like flick it down, just so that once I add concealer to my lids, it kind of just blends really nicely. I'm just gonna take this Morphe 166 brush and just get close to my brow and kind of just blend that concealer. And melts it into the skin, and I'm just flicking this outwards. So again, I can avoid that harsh halo look. All right, so I'm just gonna do the exact same thing to this side. All right, so that's what brows are looking like. Now let's move on to the eyes. So for the base, I'm going back in with my Fenty, but this time I'm going to just add a lighter color, just so that the shadow pops a little bit more. We're just gonna blend this out. And if you're wondering, the reason why I do this is just because when you add shadow to just your bare skin, it will be a little bit patchy and the color won't be consistent, but making sure that you add a base just ensures that you'll have an even layer and a nice smooth canvas for your eyeshadow. Once you add a liquid product and then set it with a powder, it just locks that into place. Whereas if you just add powder, it has wiggle room. The longer you're wearing it, it's just gonna start fading. So this is a great step if you want a smooth application, plus you want your eyeshadow to last. I'm just gonna dip into my Fenty powder and I'm just adding some to the lid. And then I'm just, and then I'm just gonna use this Juvia's Place brush. And then I'm just gonna set my eyelids before I start adding my shadow. And again, this just further evens things out, mattifies your lids, and gives you a nice even base to work with. Comment down below if you guys want me to do a more beginner-friendly makeup tutorial, because I feel like I give you guys tutorials, but I don't sit down and actually tell you step by step what I'm doing. Or like, I tell you what I'm doing, but I don't break it down as to why. So if that's a video that you guys would like to see, definitely let me know and I would love to do that for you guys. I'm using my Jaclyn Hill palette volume 2 and this is what the colors look like. It is a very summer-esque beautiful palette. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dive right into this. I really don't have a specific like clear look in mind, so I'm still not sure how this is gonna turn out. But for a transition color, I'm going to dip into this color right here called G Money. I'm just gonna do that, and this is a Morphe 441 brush. So I'm just gonna put that right into my crease area. So I'm gonna stamp that on and then just bring it over. This is a really nice transition color. It's almost like my skin color, but just a little bit darker. This is just gonna give me a nice, again, a nice base, so that once I add the rest of the colors, it just blends out nice and seamlessly. So that's what that looks like. I don't know if you guys can see the difference because it is pretty subtle, but it definitely makes a huge difference. I think I'm gonna go for like a burnt orange kind of vibe. So next I'm just gonna dip into this burnt orange color right here, and that is called Homebody, which that is for me because I'm definitely a homebody. So I'm just gonna use this Morphe 433 brush. It's definitely a little bit smaller than this initial blending brush that I used. I'm just placing this right on my lid. And if you guys need help, I'm patting where basically my eyeball, so where you can feel like your eyeball end right here, it doesn't end, but basically your eye socket, that's where I'm focusing my brush. I'm not bringing it any higher than that. I'm just gonna keep packing that on before. Damn fly, mind your business. Sorry, you guys. This fly was just all up in my grill. So that's what's looking like so far. You do see that it is blending, but there's something missing. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a deeper color in between here just to give me more of a blended look. This is a Morphe 35M palette, and this is what the colors look like. This is just, to me, such beautiful warm, just a beautiful warm palette. So I really like this. Just to deepen it up, I'm gonna go in and add this chocolatey brown color. So I'm just gonna add these lashes. They're from Cara Beauty. I actually got these from Winners, but before I add them, I'm just gonna prep my real lashes with some mascara. And the mascara that I'm using is from Makeup Forever, and it is, I forget what it's called actually. There's no, oh, Smoky Extravagant, I forgot. And by doing this, it just gives me a little bit more rigidness, I guess, so that my falsies have something to hold on to, if that makes sense. And it also just blends my real lashes a little bit better. Let's go ahead and move on to skin because the girls are back. I got stuff to do, and we need to wrap this up. So for primer, I'm using the Fenty Hydrating Primer, and I'm just gonna put that over my skin. And just a little tip, I do find that primer is necessary for long-lasting makeup, and it just gives you a better base, just like how I did the eyeshadow base. So as a beginner, I used to think that, you know, you don't really need it, but it definitely helps your overall makeup application and just helps it stay longer. And some primers actually have hydrating properties in them as well. So it's always good to use primer. All right, so I don't think I'm gonna add a highlighter, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the Rare Beauty highlighter, and this is called Flaunt. So yeah, today I'm just doing a summer vibe, so I'm just gonna actually go ahead and use my Fenty Eaze Drop. I haven't used this in a while. You guys know I like it, but I don't know, I haven't picked it up in a while, so I decided I'm gonna add this. So let's go ahead and put this on. The thing is, I don't know if it's gonna match my skin tone because I did get tan since I bought this. So I don't know if it's still gonna work for me. It is supposed to be flexible shades, so I'm hoping that it will still match my skin. I think it will. I don't know why I'm doing all this, but I did all that. So to blend this out, I'm just using my Morphe & Jaclyn Hill JH03 brush. It seems to still match my skin. I find that when I first add it, it takes some time to oxidize a little bit before it starts matching me. I've been trying not to add as much product to my forehead lately, just because sometimes it will start to look a little bit cakey. So that's been something I've been avoiding. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit more in my trouble areas. Alright, so to highlight, I'm just gonna go back in with my Fenty concealers. I am using 390. And I'm just gonna let this dry down a little bit before I go ahead and blend this out. And while that's waiting to dry down, I'm gonna use my Juvia's Place, what is this called? Complexion Stick, I believe. And this is in the color Katsina. And I'm just gonna use this to contour contour my face. I really like using these because they are super duper buttery and so easy to blend. So I really have been loving these recently. Like they feel like you're rubbing in shea butter. I really like this. And I'm just wetting my beauty blender and gonna start to blend this out. I forgot that the Fenty concealer, you can't leave too long because it does dry down pretty quickly and it starts to get stuck. Like it's not really a concealer that you need to wait a long time to dry down. So you kind of have to work pretty quickly with this one. Like, my nose is pretty much dry and so is this. So I'm just gonna have to work a little bit harder to blend this out. Now I am just gonna add a little bit of this Juvia's Place concealer, and this is in color 12, and this is just gonna give me just a little bit more of a highlighted look. But I'm not gonna add too much of this. It's just gonna give me just a little bit more brightness. And next I'm just gonna go ahead and blend out this contour. I honestly feel like this shade is a little bit more of a bronzing shade. So I think I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Espresso and just deepen this up a bit because this color is a little bit warmer. So it's giving me more bronzer vibes. So right now that looks really, really harsh, but I am gonna blend it in and everything will come together. All right, so I know I look a little bit crazy right now, but I am gonna go ahead and just set these under eyes before I start creasing, which I'm pretty sure I already am, and then we'll move on to our next step. I don't usually highlight this bright, and I didn't really think it was as bright until I looked in the mirror in regular lighting. So typically I go in with my honey setting powder from Fenty, but that's just gonna brighten things up a little bit a little bit more than I would like it to. So I'm actually gonna go ahead with my Laura Mercier setting powder, and this is in medium to deep, and this is just gonna help neutralize some of this brightness we have going on here. So I'm just taking this Juvia's Place brush and dipping that in and tapping off the excess, and I'm literally just gonna press this in. So it's definitely taking away some of that brightness, which we definitely needed. And I'm just pushing this into my skin. I'm not really baking, I'm just literally just setting. Off camera, I did add the espresso just because the contour color from Juvia's Place was giving me too much of a warm vibe. So I'm just using my Mocha Mami bronzer, and I'm using a M405 brush to apply, and this is how the brush looks. And I'm literally just gonna dust this on my cheeks and the perimeter of my face, and this is just gonna help bring the warmth back in. I feel like bronzer is definitely like my favorite step. I think bronzer just brings your face back together. I'm just using this sponge just to blend everything together so that I don't have harsh lines. For blush today, I'm going to use my Merit Beauty blush, and this is in the color Raspberry Beret. I really like this because it also gives that luminosity and that dewy look to the skin. I'm just going to lightly add this to my cheeks because I don't want it to start picking up the foundation and the powder, the setting powder that I added underneath. So I'm just patting and dragging very slightly. And this does sheer out a lot, so that's why it might seem like I'm adding a lot to begin with. So I'm just using a sponge and I'm just pressing this in and just bringing it upwards. I really like how that's looking. You know what, let me not add any more because I'll start going overboard and then we're about to have a problem. So I'm going in with Espresso for my nose contour. You guys, when I tell you, I started this video, you guys remember, it was like 6:10 or something, and I told you I have basically an hour before they come back. You know what time it is right now? It is 9:30, okay? I've had to stop, I've had to talk on the phone with people. Everyone had a serious dilemma that they needed my help for, which I'm not mad about. It's just funny that like when I'm doing nothing, I have no life. So it is now 9:30 and I'm still at this video. So at this point, it's too much and I need to finish this. So I'm going to just spray my beauty blender and I'm literally just melting everything in because I feel like I have some lines of demarcation going on and I'm not effing with that. So I'm just using a sponge and I'm just pressing this in and just bringing it upwards. So I'm just taking the Morphe sponge and I'm just dipping into that lightly. And I'm just gonna use that to define this area because I feel like it's a little bit messy. So while that's baking, I'm gonna finish my under eyes. And I'm literally just gonna use the exact same colors. I really like how matte this is looking, so I do want to add like an inner corner highlight, but I feel like that's so typical of me. So I'm just adding this color right here and it's called Grateful, and I'm just putting that in the inner corner and just pushing that upwards. This is so weird for me. I always add an inner corner highlight. It's just a thing. I think what I am gonna do is add a little tiny bit of shimmer just right up in here. I don't know if you guys see that, but I just added a tiny bit of shimmer just right up in here. So lastly, I'm just gonna set this with my Fenty Soft Matte Powder Foundation, and I'm just using this fluffy Morphe brush. I have no idea what number this is, but I'm just gonna add this all over my face. Alright guys, so on top of this, I'm just gonna add my Fenty Gloss Bomb in Fenty Glow, and that is going to complete the look. I feel like I need a little bit of contrast in here, so I'm just gonna add a tiny bit. This is Morphe's Tint liquid lipstick, but I just added that to just give me a little wash of color. Alright guys, so this is the final look. At this point, I can't believe it's taken this long to film this video. I've had to take breaks, I've had to counsel people, I've had to do a whole lot. It is now 9:57 and your girl is over it, but I really do like how this look turned out for you guys. This, I think, is the first look I've done without any sort of inner corner highlight, but well, any sort of metallic shimmery inner corner highlight. I did do this like, I don't even know, but I just really like it. and I hope you guys do too. If you like this video and learned something, definitely give this video a big thumbs up and comment down below if you guys are enjoying these makeup tutorials and if you would like to see more. Also, if you like more basic type videos, let me know what you guys would like to learn and I would be happy to help you. But as always, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to also hit the red subscribe button if you haven't already. But for now, I'm gonna say toodles. Bye guys.